calling out red states like Florida is so common for Governor Gavin Newsom, it'd almost be weird if he didn't.
Outperform states like Florida.
I don't know if you heard of this guy, Desantis. You heard of him.
What Ron DeSantis is doing is a disgrace.
Governor DeSantis does it too, but unlike Newsom, DeSantis admits he's seeking the national office. Thursday, DeSantis urged that to change.
Serious fixation on the state of Florida. I mean, I think it's just bizarre that he does that. But what I would tell him is, you know what? Stop pussyfooting around. Are you going to throw your hat in the ring and challenge Joe? Are you going to get in and do it, or are you just going to sit on the sidelines and chirp? So why don't you throw your hat in the ring, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what's happening.
Okay, so Gavin Newsom, Ron DeSantis. These are the two most popular governors on either side of the political aisle. You got Gavin Newsom in super deep blue, California. Ron DeSantis down there in red, Florida. Florida used to be purple, but Ron DeSantis became so popular down there that it's now a deep red state. So what's going on between these guys is they're taking jabs at each other. They're going to war against each other. And this is ignoring the fact that neither of these guys are at the top of their own respective parties. Joe Biden is the alleged leader of the Democrats. He's the president, the incumbent president running for re-election. Then we got Donald Trump. He has a vice grip on the Republican Party. Last I looked at the polls, he was ahead of DeSantis by 40 points. Regardless, despite all of that, these two governors are carving out their own space. They're forcing their way into the conversation. So this has become a hot topic. California versus Florida. Florida versus California. Which state is better? Which governor is better? Should either of these governors be president? Even though Gavin Newsom won't say out loud that he is running for president. He's running a shadow campaign against Joe Biden right now. But we got the two biggest names in both parties. They're going at it, but then we got this sub war. And the question is, how did it get this way? When did we start having governors? When did we start having governors insert themselves into national politics like this? Especially a governor who isn't even a declared candidate for president. It's never been like this. Governors usually stick to their local issues because local issues actually impact the everyday lives of Americans way more than national politics, but people don't really see it that way. But now with modern technology, social media, everybody can constantly talk. The news cycle moves so fast. National politics are at the forefront of Americans' minds. For example, people are caring more about Ukraine than what the mayor, the county government, the school district in the area. People care more about these national and even international issues more so because social media and the national media is pushing it down people's throats. So these governors, they said, look, man, if I want to be more successful, if I want to boost my career, I need to jump into national politics. And on top of that, the country's become more divided. So over the last several decades and even more so over the last several years, red states are getting redder, blue states are getting bluer. So you have people in California who lean to the right. They don't like the politics. They don't like they were trying to force vaccines, destroying people's businesses, mask mandates, unnecessary, stuff like that. So they're fleeing to places like Texas, they're fleeing to Florida, and then vice versa. Texas all but outlawed abortion. Florida has very strict laws on it. So people who lean to the left, they say, you know what? We're out of here. We're going to go to New York. We're going to go to California. So because of stuff like this, the country has become more polarized. Let's look at this map here. So this map here shows which party controls which state. So the governments of these states are governors, courts, and legislators. So when you look at this map here, the blue states show a trifecta. That means that state has a Democrat governor, a Democrat courthouse, and a Democrat legislator. And same thing for the red states. They're ran by Republicans on all three fronts. What does that mean? That means when a governor wants to do something, it happens. So when Gavin Newsom in California wants to push his radical left policies, there's not much opposition. In fact, about 80% of the legislators are also Democrats, and they fully support Gavin Newsom. So his will be done, basically, out there in California, which means the state is becoming more radically left. Same thing, Florida is becoming more and more red. One of Ron DeSantis' key talking point is how successful he's been in Florida. Every time he wants to come and do something like what he did with Disney, how he took away those rights that they were given to govern themselves decades ago, and he just like that took it away because he has no opposition. The state is fully run by Republicans. They have a supermajority down there, and it's only a handful of states. If you look at the purple states, those are the states where you have Republicans and Democrats in power, so the state has to kind of compromise on issues. And the yellow states, they are full-blown gone. They are completely run by a single party. So these two governors, they're making big names for themselves because they're able to easily push policy quickly. So they're jumping on the national stage trying to show the whole world, look at me, look at what I'm doing. So now, since they're polar opposites, Newsom, DeSantis, they're polar opposites in their policies, the way they view the world. So now they're going at each other. They're jabbing at each other. And they've been talking about debating. Several months ago, Gavin Newsom challenged DeSantis to the debate. DeSantis said, look, man, I'm running for president right now. You're not even in a race. How about this? How about you formally declare that you're running against Joe Biden for the Democrat nomination, and then we'll talk. And Gavin Newsom won't do it. Gavin Newsom does all these interviews. He travels across the country, sitting down with Fox News, CNN, giving stump speeches, but he won't declare that he's running for president because he's trying to say that he's loyal to Joe Biden. But just last week, DeSantis was asked about it, and DeSantis said, I'm game. Let's look at this.
Gavin, make the offer. Your answer is?
Absolutely. I'm game. Let's get it done. Just tell me when and where. We'll do it.
DeSantis said he accepts it. So we're excited. We're like, finally, the rumble in the jungle. We're finally going to get these two guys, the two big heavyweight governors. This is going to make it entertaining. All us political junkies, we were hella stoked for this. And then immediately ran into issues. Now they can't agree where they're going to do it, when they're going to do it, what are the rules. So it looks like the debate is off, I guess. I don't know. Gavin Newsom's like, look, let's do opening statements, no live audience, meet me in Georgia, Nevada somewhere, and I'll only do November. And DeSantis like, no, I want, instead of opening statements, I want to show a opening video clip. And I also want to have audience there. You can pick your audience. I'll pick my audience. And I also want to have a pen and notepad. And Gavin Newsom's like, nope, no pen and notepad, no audience. So now they can't agree on these issues. And they're taking shots at each other, calling each other cowards and all of this stuff. So I'm thinking, put up or shut up. Y'all doing all this chirp, all this talk. Meanwhile, Trump and Biden are still well ahead in the polls. So what exactly is going on? Can we just get this debate? Can y'all just get in front of each other and go at it? And my thoughts on the debate, I think DeSantis will rip Newsom apart. A lot of people think Newsom is risking a lot right here. In the eyes of a lot of people, he's pretty vulnerable. California has issues. California is losing thousands, hundreds of thousands of citizens every year. The crime is off the chart. Businesses are fleeing. A lot of businesses are closed down. That's because of far left radical policies that they instituted, anti-business policies, the defund the police. They're not protecting businesses. They were trying to force, like I said before, they were trying to force children to have an untested vaccine. They kept children out of school for damn near 2 years. Education loss, grades are down, test scores are down, and there are a host of other issues that are wrong with the state. And Florida is gaining citizens. They're gaining businesses. People are fleeing California and moving to Florida. They're fleeing New York, moving to Florida. So Ron DeSantis can tout this and say, look, man, your people are coming to me. In fact, Gavin Newsom knows this. He actually did an ad telling people in Florida to move back to California. Let's look at this.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe.
So this debate, I think it's also pretty risky for DeSantis. Like I said, he's 40 points behind Donald Trump. And if he gets into a debate with Gavin Newsom, because Gavin Newsom, even though his policies are trash, He got a good mouthpiece. He can talk. So if DeSantis goes in there and stumbles, gets embarrassed in any type of way, it's going to hurt him tremendously. MAGAville is already against him. Many independents are against him. The media is already painting him as a devil, Satan or some crap, because they view him as a threat to Joe Biden also. He has a lot to lose in this. And the biggest risk is the fact that he's running against a guy who's not even formally declared to be running for president. So you're taking time off the campaign trail, time away from Biden and Trump to go at Newsom. So a lot of people are saying, yeah, this is stupid, this is ridiculous, just don't waste your time on this guy. But then again, it could help him because maybe he could talk about stuff that's not related to Trump. He can get Trump off his brain for once, because every time they talk about DeSantis, it's always Trump, Trump, Trump. So Trump seems to overshadow DeSantis anytime he's getting any bit of shine. If he can go at Newsom and destroy Newsom, maybe that'll help him. Maybe that'll show a lot of people, that'll remind people. Because like I said before, DeSantis is a beast, man. This guy has great policies. He's a great talker. He handles the left well. He handles the media well. But he's going against this abnormal type candidate and Trump. Trump is a once in a generation, maybe once in several generations type candidate, where as great as DeSantis is, when you're going against something like that, or force like that, it's just hard to gain traction. And for Newsom, he's running his shadow campaign against Biden. Maybe they're expecting Biden to croak or become even more demented as time goes by, like, because the election is a year and a half from now, so Biden might not even be medically able to be president, to run for president. So Gavin Newsom is probably running beside Joe Biden just to say, okay, at the last minute, if they have to pull Joe, Gavin Newsom, hey, look, I've been here the whole time. Here I am. I'm ready. So he has to get this name out there. He can't just sit in California for the next year and a half. Then they pull Joe Biden at the last minute. Nobody wants Kamala. Then they're going to say, who? Then they say, how about Gavin Newsom? And most of the country will be like, who? Who the hell is that? So Gavin Newsom has to show the country who he is now. He has to run for president unofficially. So at the last minute, he can possibly take the spot from Joe Biden. And if he goes in and crushes DeSantis, that's going to be all the more reason for the Democrats to give him the nomination. And he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. A lot of nepotism going on here. He's the governor of the biggest state, massive GDP. He's super popular on the left. So they believe he'd be the perfect candidate. At first it was Andrew Cuomo up there in New York, but we see what happened to him. He got kicked out of office by his own people. So I guess Gavin Newsom's the next guy up. So I say, let's just get this goddamn debate going. Let's get the party started. Put up or shut up. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust.